Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to start with priming my eyelids. I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I'm sure all of you who are watching this have seen this before, heard of this before. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids. And with the fluffy blending brush, I'm just gonna blend out the primer. And I already did my face makeup just so that this video doesn't take too long. So now that I got the primer on, I'm gonna bring you guys a little closer. Blend a little more. So next I'm going to use this palette by Anastasia. It is a little messed up. My son got into it the day after I got it, and I hadn't even got a chance to use it. But I'm just gonna use this color right here in the crease. I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush. It's called Coastline. I'm just gonna buff it in on a little bit above my crease. I'm just blending it up to the brow. Circles. So it should look something like that. And then next I am going to get these Melted Shadows by Huda Beauty, and it's in the color Dinero. So I'm gonna use, there's two sides, a silver and like a color teal side. I'm gonna use a teal. And I'm just gonna place dots right above where my eye creases. Start with 4 dots. And then use the same, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use the brush that I used to put on my primer to blend it out. And I do one eye first because I really don't use this that often, but I'm sure it dries down. From the last time I used it, it dries down pretty fast. So I'm just gonna do one eye at a time. And then I kind of flick it out. And I'll probably add a little more. Just 3 more dots. And circular motions, blend out and up. I got a little bit right here, but I'll come back in and fix that. I'm going up not as high as the brow bone, but halfway there. And bring it down. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the other eye. I'll be right back. And that's how it looks. Just kind of keep blending. It doesn't have to look too perfect, so I'm gonna throw another color on top of it. So now I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to grab another fluffy brush And I'm gonna use this palette by Profusion in Sapphires, and I'm going to go with this color right here, Bermuda, and I'm just gonna go over all that color that I just put down. And just keep going in circle motions. And just put it on top. Keep blending. So now that I got all that blended out, it should look something like this. Now I am going to take this concealer and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting a crease with this brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer, put it on the back of my hand, dip my brush in it, and start tracing where I want my cut crease. So I'm gonna go above where my eye crease is, just so that when I put my lashes on you can see it doesn't block too much of the eyelid makeup. So I'm just gonna go and then I just bring it on down to the side, kind of like a half circle. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a wing. So I'm just going to go my outer, almost if I was doing a wing liner. Go up. Then I'm going to meet up at the top of that circle. And then fill it in. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. So then once I kind of get close to the shape that I want, I grab a smaller brush, an angled liner brush. I do the same thing with the concealer. And just to clean it up and make sure we get it as sharp as we can, I go back and sharpen up my lines. Okay, so now that I got the concealer the way I want it, I'm gonna go back in with the Profusion, and I'm gonna use the lightest color. So I'm gonna dip my brush, tap off, and start stamping the color on. And sometimes I like to use my finger because I feel like it sticks on a little better, as you can see. And this eyeshadow is like white with light teal type shift to it. Also, what I like to do is I'll grab my brush and I'll use a baby wipe, and I'll just swirl my brush in it and then dip it in the shadow, and sometimes that helps also give it that more foiled look. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Same technique, wet the brush a little bit with the wipe and start stamping it on. Use my finger. This is my first time using these shadows from Profusion. They're not too bad for the price, but I've used better quality shadows. So I'm just gonna go a little further than halfway down my eye, about 2/3 down. So what I ended up doing is grabbing that same brush that I used to put my concealer on and sprayed it with a little bit of setting spray from Wet n Wild, because it wasn't looking quite how I wanted to. So I did that and dipped in the eyeshadow again and swiped it, and that helped intensify the color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing that and do that with the other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I've got the 2/3 of my eyelid covered up with that color, I'm gonna go in with my Everyday Decay electric palette, and I'm gonna use this color down here, and that is the color Chaos. And I'm gonna use that same brush that I used to apply that first color with, and I'm gonna go ahead and start stamping. Kind of on that outer third, or I think about halfway in, actually. Halfway in. I'm gonna bring it all the way up to the top of the concealer there, and slowly fill in that wing. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Keep going. I kind of go back and forth from eye to eye. And now that I just kind of laid down the color, I'm going to go back in with that liner, angled liner brush, and get the same blue color. Now I'm just going to get closer to the edges, and I have some fallout, but I'll clean that up later. So it still looks kind of messy. I'm not done quite yet. I know it looks weird in the beginning, but you gotta trust the process. So that's what it's looking like. Now I'm going to grab that same electric palette, and I'm going to use this blue right here. It is in the color Gonzo. Tap, and I'm gonna put that right in the middle, just to kind of blend the darker blue and the white. And just blend. Just put it right in the middle and blend. The same thing on the other eye. And you see how that kind of looks gradient. It should look like that. Now I'm going to go back with that small blending brush and go back with the Profusion and get that light blue color and blend right above where I had cut the crease, just to kind of soften a little bit of that crease. Do that on both eyes. So now that I blended out over the cut crease, I'm just gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna go with this color right here. It's like a beige type color, just to kind of tone down a little bit the brow bone. It should look like that. And I just took a big fluffy brush and wiped away the fallout. And now I'm going to take this pencil brush and spray it with some more setting spray. And I'm going to grab the silver color that's in the electric palette. And I'm going to stick it right in the inner corner. That's the inner corner. Now I'm going to use my Urban Decay primer and this pencil brush. Just put a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm just gonna put it on the lower lash just to give a base to for my eyeshadow. Just stick. And then I'm going to take this color again, it's the same color I used right in the middle, Gonzo, and tap off the excess and place it right over the primer. Just keep blending out. Like that. And then I am going to grab that same small pencil brush. And I'm going to grab that other blue color that I used on the outer. And I'm going to stick it right on the outer lower lash and kind of meet up with the wing on the top. Bring it in a little. And I don't bring that as far down as I did the other blue, just closer to the lash line. Should look like that. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to go in with this glitter liner and just kind of go in the inner where I cut the crease, just in the right on the crease where I cut, kind of from where I put the inner corner highlight. Just where the white's at. to give it a little more dimension. Now I am going to, I think we're gonna go ahead and do lashes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my lashes and then I'll come right back. Okay, and then my lashes, I got my lashes on. I just use these lashes that I ordered off Amazon. I'm not much of a lash wearer, but just for fun I ordered these ones. And I used, my first time using this Kiss lash glue liner, it worked really well. Made it really easy. Didn't have to wait too long to apply the lashes. So there is that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put some mascara on the bottom. I'm using this new Maybelline Sky High mascara. My second time trying it. Today's my second time using it. So I used it yesterday and it was really good. If you want to check out the review, it will be on my channel. Also, you can check that out. So yeah, let me go ahead and put some mascara on the bottom lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, and I got that done. The bottom lashes are on. Now I'm just gonna finish up and put some lip liner on. I'm using the NYX lip liner in the color Cold Brew. So I'm just gonna line my lips. And fill it in a little. And then I'm going to go over it with a lip gloss. This is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. And this is the color Topaz. And that is what it looks like. I'm just gonna go and touch up my blush a little bit. And I'm just using this e.l.f. blush palette. It doesn't have a name. Oh, I think that is Light, I guess is the name of it. Just touching up my blush. And now I'm just blending it out. And yeah, this is the finished look. And I hope you all enjoyed.